Okay, 260. John Lowe. John Lowe, 260. John Lowe. Nope. Okay, let's go to 261. Buffy Chudderhose.
You know, everybody screws it up, so don't worry. No. That's fair.
Apologize.
Just call me Buffy, like
I
Cher.
got Buffy right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, full disclosure, I didn't grow up here. I grew up in rural Nova Scotia, which was certainly an idyllic childhood, but it lacked something really what I think is pivotal, a library. This is a bit of a singing backup to a lot of other people. My parents, bless their hearts, had the foresight and patience to frequently drive my sister and myself to the nearest library in Halifax, which was about an hour away. And we spent a lot of time there at readings, taking workshops, and generally basking in the sunshine afforded by great minds and ideas. I should add that the environment in which I grew up, or my parents grew up rather, viewed books and education as a luxury. My father served in the Canadian Navy for 27 years, initially not as a choice, but as a necessity. My mother has worked at everything from retail to line work in a fur factory. Yet my parents told me to use books and the library as a window through which I could see other things, other worlds, better worlds. And so I looked. And my world grew large and filled with promise. I'm now a television director, a writer, an author, and an educator, and I will be starting my doctorate at U of T in September. And I'm the first PhD candidate in my extended family, so can I have a witness on that? Amen. This is in no way due to the role of public libraries. Someone from the City Council has accused libraries of drifting from their mandate of scholarship. And I think that misapprehends the nature and value of knowledge. Educator and philosopher John Dewey said that a thing is fully known only when it is published, shared, and socially accessible. Record and communication are indispensable to knowledge. Knowledge cooped up in private consciousness is a myth. Libraries share knowledge. It's a gift economy, if you will. And the cultivation of ideas and the sharing of knowledge fosters social capital, the stuff that binds us together, the Kevlar fortifying our social fabric. And our library's role in this cannot be underestimated. They play a huge role in welcoming newcomers with literacy and language training. They connect seniors like my mother to otherwise the terrifying internet. And they're also critical for job seekers, as well as community and service hubs for the underhoused and socially isolated. Cuts to hours and branches will affect everyone, but the injuries will be greatest to those. Do I have to call you on your cell phone to get your attention? Is that actually what it takes? The injuries will be the greatest to those already vulnerable. So I implore and entreat you to affirm the gift my parents gave to me, a respect for books and ideas and libraries. And that window my parents spoke of, it can't just be opened a grudging crack. It needs to be thrown open wide. Thank you. And I do not take any funds directly or indirectly from the City of Toronto, so not a labor crony, should anyone ask.
Ma'am, you know what? I'm a little confused here. I was sitting here, I didn't say a word, I was listening to you, and I don't know what...
You were like this.
That's how I was sitting like this. I'm sorry, some people sit like this.
Really? That's engagement? You know what? I brought you a gift. Not that you deserve it. It's a book on participatory and democratic theory. You should read it.
Holy.
No, you deserve it.
Yeah, well, that's what you get.
Holy. Anyways.
Hey, it's Bob's gift. I don't think you should take it.
No, that's fine. Anyways, 262, Peter Ouellette, or Peter Ouellette. Sorry if I pronounced the last name wrong. Peter Ouellette. No, Peter. Okay, 263, Ula Knowles.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, Ula, you have 3 minutes.
Good morning, and thank you very much for the opportunity to address everybody here. I'm a resident in Ward 6 in the Etobicoke Lakeshore. In 1995, there was a need for food for kids going hungry in our local school at St. Teresa. My son already spoke about it briefly. It was identified as an inner city school at the time, which was a great shock to me because I didn't recognize that in my own neighborhood where I had lived for quite a number of years. So a group of concerned parents decided to run a pilot snack program, totally funded by the parents, totally volunteer run. Toronto Public Health graciously provided food safety training at no cost to ensure kids were getting food in a safe and healthy manner. All children ate fresh fruits and vegetables plus a grain or dairy product each day, regardless of their ability to contribute to this little pilot project. The staff at the school applauded the increase in attention span and improvement in behavior and alertness. The parents applauded the increased consumption of healthy food by their children and demands for similar types of food at home. Coke and a bag of Doritos, which I lovingly always refer to as the breakfast of champions, was no longer the breakfast or snack of choice. Since 2000, I've had the privilege of not serving just my own community, but the whole community of the City of Toronto. I'm a community development worker. I'm now a manager in that position, and I run the community development component, or help to support it, of all these programs across the city. Currently, we have 720 or more of these programs, serving at least 141,000 children and youth every day. We have city and provincial funding, which approximately total 20 cents of every single dollar. The rest of the money comes from parents, private funders, service clubs, faith groups, local businesses, etc. Regrettably, Canada is the only G8 country, I just thought I'd throw that out there, that doesn't have a national funding stream for these programs. They grow communities, they socialize and include those most marginalized youth and children and adult volunteers. They nurture body and also the mind and the soul, and they teach children to make lifelong healthy choices. The medical officer of health, in a July 21 statement to you, stated that student nutrition programs provide vital nutrition support to low-income, disadvantaged children in all parts of Toronto. Student nutrition program supports an essential...
Thank you very much, ma'am. I have a question from Councillor Doucette.
Yes.
First of all, thank you very much for what you do. In the KPMG report, it is suggesting as an option cutting the funding to student nutrition. I mentioned earlier that it says that this could affect the children if this was eliminated. Do you think it could, or it definitely would affect the children?
It definitely would. The minister, it's been a long day. I've been here since before 9 yesterday.
Thank you.
Morning. Yes, the medical officer of health has already stated he's by far a much more learned person than I am in this department. So if he says so, I think we have to agree with him. And if you do cut these grants or even decrease them somewhat, you're going to shut down programs. And how do you decide what child gets to eat and which one doesn't?
And obviously a child with food in their stomach learns better,
Obviously.
behaves better.
Yes.
Thank
There
you
are
very-
statistics to show that. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.